What has 2020 made apparent that you had never realized before? There are people who thrive on conflict. There are a lot more stupid less around than I'd comprehended. People who start the day with the question, how can I be most effective as an today _? You overestimate their intelligence. They don't question anything. It's why they don't learn. They merely are the asshole. I'm miserable. I feel that. Never been so depressed in life. Same here, man. We don't need to drive to work at an office when the work can be done at home. I sit in traffic for an hour each way. I now have 2 hours every day to work out and spend time with family. But now you can't hatch any more eggs in Pokemon Go lol. That my lifestyle as a whole wasn't really affected all that much by the pandemic, and I need to get out more. After everything comes the duck down. Yeah, I've been living that quarantine life minus movies and live shows my whole life. I'm happy it wasn't hard at all to follow the rules. But now a little sad that I was doing barely anything besides work. Plenty of people have malicious intentions. And just because I haven't experienced it, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Sucks. Because I was pretty trusting and believed people were good until proven otherwise. But I realize that it's probably best to assume nothing I haven't already seen yet. Same. I used to believe people were inherently good and would try to do what was right. Watching COVID unfold here in the US really shook that conviction. I still believe that most people are inherently good and will try to do what's right. Unfortunately, a lot of people are idiots who don't know what's right, and sometimes that minority who don't want to do what's right will gain a position of power. The idiotic characters in zombie movies aren't as unrealistic as I thought they were. They're still unrealistic. If it's 20 years into the setting, they'd have long since died. That's a good point. I'm really insecure about the way I look. When I first put on a mask and saw myself in a mirror, I felt this weird feeling of comfort in not having to look at my face. People I know, myself included, have gotten compliments on our appearances while wearing masks and been confused because all they can see is our eyes. Guess we have nice eyes? I also love that my mask covers up my chin chub lol. Yeah. I have come to realize what really matters to appearance is basically nose down, lips, cheeks and jawline. Because I could not tell whether people are ugly or pretty when they have a mask on. Something has to be done about social media and cable news. 140 upvotes and not a comment. We're all sheep. School is fun at school. I hope teachers and students appreciate in-person school more. I know I will. That essential workers are highly underpaid and undervalued. Life is precious and very little care for it, other than their own selves, and not even enough about themselves to do basic measures of self-preservation. If there was a zombie apocalypse, I now believe people would actively do things to put themselves in harm's way. True believers need not fear the zombie menace. You will be protected from harm by the blessings of the Lord. To receive your blessing, send your donations to www.megachurch/fund at Askreddit and you will receive your holy immunity in 10 to 15 business days. How short-sighted most people are. When I try to smile with my eyes, I apparently look angry instead. Was putting extra effort into it with mask on the rare instances I saw people and finally caught my reflection one day. Hello, the captain. We haven't gotten better as a society. People have just learned to hide their hatred and bigotry better until they had a platform again. And it'll keep happening until we learn to live with hatred instead of trying to remake the human psyche. That, or eugenics. The most unessential people in society are the highest paid. Why are we wasting money on gas when we can just do shit from home? Wasting money and the environment. At the risk of sounding cynical, this year actually reaffirmed many things I already thought to be true. I kind of already knew this, but not to this extent. The majority of people are really stupid. For instance, what was the first thing people started grabbing when we went into lockdown? Toilet paper, not food. Essential supplies. Damn toilet paper. So food, water, basic essential needs are not important. but making sure you but stays clean is, though to be fair, semi-fair. The toilet paper thing did actually originate from an actual toilet paper shortage in China/Hong Kong. I had friends in HK who were actually seeing a shortage because some factories had been shut down due to COVID in China. It's just the rest of the world didn't realize that they had different toilet paper factories to rely on. I remember that people thought early on having really bad shits was a result of COVID. That despite what my girlfriend says about them, my in-laws, parents, uncles/aunts, and grandparents continue to give me reasons to never want to be around them, especially in the sense that they don't understand biosecurity and want to have get-togethers despite my sister-in-law being high risk for COVID-19, pregnant and type 1 diabetic, and question why my girlfriend and I are wearing masks around them. Sigh. I thrive with challenges. Opened a restaurant this year. Put my deposit on the location down the day before it was declared a pandemic. It flipped a switch in me to fight with everything and finally do something for myself and my wife. Had to fight the city for months over the phone with next to no accountability for city workers. City jammed me up for 3 months. Finally opened and have since won 3 awards for my restaurant and are thriving. Before anyone gets all Karen-ish about pandemic stuff, we are takeout only and hyper vigilant about our business's cleanliness. Hell of a year to open a restaurant. But if we survive this, I'll feel wildly accomplished and like we can survive anything. Congrats. I've owned a business for 14 years, but this year made me rebrand what we do, and it's been a blessing. This year made me become a better businessman. Thank you. It's been an awesome journey, and I'm so thankful for my blessings in such a shit year. I'm glad your rebranding has worked and helped you grow. Best wishes for you and your business in 2021. People will put their selfishness above the safety of others. 2020 has taught me that the level of human stupidity visible before the pandemic was in no way indicative of what was to come. I thought it was a curiosity, or a hobby, or a habit, or I don't even know. I wanted to believe it was anything other than what it really was. But all the time spent alone during quarantine made me finally confront the feelings and thoughts I've had my whole life. It took a while, but I was eventually able to accept myself for who I really am. Now I actually feel good about it when I say it, because I know it's the truth, and I'm done pretending and lying to myself and everyone else. I'm transgender. 2020 took a lot of things away, but it also gave me this understanding. Congratulations. The US has a lot of smart, hard-working people, but it also has some of the most selfish, easily manipulated people on earth, and a government that has failed to provide even a basic social safety net. A government that has failed to provide even a basic social safety net. Americans, as a whole, simply don't demand a social safety net. They don't. We should stop pretending that they do. Election after election proves it. Actually, it's worse than that. Americans can't even imagine a social safety net. Or not even a safety net. They can't even imagine a society where you don't really need a safety net because the structures are in place to keep you from falling in the first place. I'm an American living in Canada. The great thing about Canada isn't that there's a safety net to catch you if you fall. It's that you aren't nearly as likely to fall in the first place. Even my well-educated and worldly American friends and family back home can't fully understand how far gone, how fucked up America has become these past 15 to 20 years. It's subtly insane when I go home. At least where my family is. It's legitimately becoming something less than a first world country. And I mean that. Honestly, I was talking about that last point with some friends the other day. You put it far better than I could have, though. Drug addiction and homelessness run rampant here. One minor slip could send you into inescapable poverty. Education is terrible. Anything to do with health of any kind is terrible. Job security is terrible. Sometimes job safety is terrible. Some people are living without a safe water supply. Some people get to live their day-to-day lives wondering if their rights are going to be taken. Or wondering if they are even going to get any. Honestly, we may not be the textbook definition of a third world country, but I think we are a few steps shy of becoming what everyone thinks of when they hear those words. Strangers will often be kinder and more helpful than friends. I was homeless at the beginning of this year and the vast majority of my friends disappeared, while strangers helped me so much. With food, clothing, and are still helping me get settled into my apartment. Seriously. Got a surprise package from a Redditor today from my Amazon wishlist. People that don't even know me have done so much more than the people I was supposed to be able to depend on. It was hurtful and heartwarming all at once. I mean, I guess some of that is on me. Bad taste in friends. Just broke my heart. That holy ducky really am smarter than most people. My breath smells more than I thought, and wearing a mask keeps my face warm. I have definitely stepped up my mouthwash game. I'm paranoid about my breath and always carry breath strips in my pocket. Didn't like my own breath with the mask and popped one. Went right to my eyes, and I spent the next minute or so with my eyes tearing, as if I'd sprayed them with a mild pepper spray. I'll learn to lay off the breath strips while wearing the mask. People actually won't avoid it like the plague. I mean, I knew a majority of Congress didn't give a shit about the very people that voted them in. But to see the blatant disregard so open is infuriating. Biological warfare is probably how the world will end for humans. Rather than nuclear. The world has seen how different countries can react. So why blow up the planet? How little of a duck people give about each other. The importance of voting. I will never miss another election from local on up and not just vote for president. Unless the average person sees a globally impacted event as an actual enemy, they're unwilling to sacrifice to help their fellow man. That my inability to ask for help is a response to childhood trauma. My sister's first reaction is to ask for help instead of taking a breath and figuring it out. Learned helplessness. This is also a trauma response. Every family is weird and leaves holes in your soul. No amount of booze, drugs, sex or work is going to fill that void left by abusive adults, absent parents, etc. The only thing which can fill those holes is self-love. Most things are unimportant. One's health is paramount. Without a pandemic I don't like hugs. Well, I like hugs from my mom, but that's it. After this is over, I'd really appreciate people still being 6 feet away at all times. They can keep their handshakes and hugs. You only need one mightier than everyone lunatic to make a whole country the butt of jokes in the rest of the world. That I only like coming to work because of my great colleges and I really hate my job. I feel this one and completely agree with you. That most people are good and the remaining few are terrifying. True. But it's amazing how much uproar the remaining few manage shamelessly shot into existence. Time for decent people to bully these dicks into irrelevance. I've been saying for a few months now that we've tried playing nice, but since that doesn't work, it's time to fight fire with fire. Internet is a utility. I'm truly insignificant. You aren't insignificant to the people around you. You are an integral part of their lives and are extremely important. I don't tip my barber enough. The people in my inner circle are not nearly as intelligent as I thought they were. That I absolutely have raging ADHD. Are you diagnosed? Try to go see someone. Life's better when you know what the duck you're doing. That I'm capable of so many things if I try. The government is not capable of handling any kind of emergency. Hollywood has led me to believe otherwise. I never realized how dumb people can be in my country. Now I know, and I want to leave, so that I'm not linked in with them. My career isn't going to go anywhere at the company I'm at right now. My apartment is really cramped. That I miss my friends and little things like going out for a walk. Which of my friends completely lack discipline and self-control? Just exactly how many people are selfish, entitled assholes who truly don't care about anyone besides themselves? It's scarily eye-opening. America is a third world country with a first world paint job. Most Americans can't afford good healthcare and are only a couple months of being unemployed away from losing everything they have. GoFundMe is the primary source of medical funding for 30 million Americans. Many of the policies and traditions that the United States government abides by are easily sidestepped by someone who doesn't care about following the rules. People are stupid. Like really stupid. I knew people were dumb before the pandemic, but wow. So many things happened this year that really showed how dumb and idiotic most of America is. I don't want to be associated with a country known for morons who choose comfort in lies over facts, and frankly I hate living here now. I really need to make a bigger effort to see my friends that the problem of working with kids are not the kids, but the parents. That love is not conditional. It's unconditional, and it doesn't ask for your help grocery shopping, paying bills, staying up all night to give medicine. Doesn't ask you to be the housekeeper or ask you to fix everything to make it perfect for the ones you love. That's just your mom gaslighting you, saying you've never done anything for her despite being her in-home caretaker since 16. Fuck that home. The government does not give a single duck about any of us. Like, I generally knew that before, but recently realized it is to an even greater extent than I thought previously. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.